Milan. Yeah, guys, welcome to Hamza Talks Ball. I got here Crank, Chocolate, Big Up Crank.
What's up? What's up, people?
Last time we had Crank all the way from New
Hey.
York, live from New York, man. Oh my God.
It was mad, man. It was, people all around, tons of City fans. Was at one of the block party that they had. It was right outside the Puma store.
Yeah.
They hired a barber who was just giving away free haircuts. Like it was crazy. They were giving away gifts left and right, the new kits. They had a basketball version of the new kit, the new third kit, the purple one. It looked very nice. Jack Grealish was rocking it. I really wanted that one.
Wow. So it's a great day for everyone. I saw so many fans out there. Many fans. Welcome, guys. So many fans were out there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like the line. How do you tell me about the experience there? Like, was there a lot of fans there, City?
Yeah, there were tons of fans. Naturally, I love the part where there were lots of, you would still see the Liverpool and the Arsenal fans trying to walk in and act all tough. But it's like, bro, you're at a Manchester City event. I mean, obviously, rock and show your thing, but they legitimately were trying to act like they weren't moved by all of these City fans, or that it wasn't so cool. Like, you came here, so why are you hating? But no, it was all of the events. I loved just walking around North Carolina, walking around New York, and there's just City shirts everywhere randomly. I'd go into a random bar. I'd go and grab some food. That was really fun. I mean, like the subways to and from, especially New York. I had hold on. I'm gonna post it on my Twitter again, so then you guys can maybe you can share it.
People don't believe that. People don't believe City have got a lot of fan base.
I mean, if you look at the attendance record for the City AC Milan game, I think it was 51,000, and a good 80% of them were Man City fans. I'd even say 90% were 80. I was expecting it to be a good half and half, because there's tons of Italians in New York. It's New York, but it was Man City. What I will say is I did talk to some people. There were, like, if you would talk to AC Milan fans who live in the area, you would say that there were some shenanigans that had happened, and there is a reason why there were more Man City supporters there. But, as a Man City fan, I'm not going to complain. But I will be talking about it, in a future episode on the pod. But, yeah, no, it was a wonderful experience being for a whole week, being around so many City fans from all over, traveling. I mean, I traveled. I'm from the Midwest. I went to North Carolina and New York. When I was in New York, there was a family who drove 5 hours from Canada that I was in front of.
Wow.
There were even a group of Manx who flew to the U.S. and they had just been hanging out in New York for the week, and they were at the match. Pissed drunk, chanting songs. I love that they brought the good Mank energy. They were having the best time, and they loved the fact that you could drink during the match. So there's no like cutoff during playing time. We can just get drunk the entire time. So they were thoroughly having a good time for sure.
And we're talking about we've played 2 games already there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we've played against Celtic, Milan, and tonight we'll play against Barcelona.
Yeah. And the game, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Being able to see from North Carolina to New York, I could see the difference just in how much in shape they were. It was like a huge gap, because I was like Rico Lewis, he looked real bad. Honestly, both him and JWE, they didn't look the best.
Yeah.
But going from game 1 to game 2, you could kind of tell that it was Mbete who was kind of the wink link in the first match.
Yeah.
I thought Calvin Phillips looked pretty good in the open training in North Carolina. He looked decent in the game, so I was positive. But then fast forward to the match in New York, Calvin Phillips almost gave away a goal. He looked lost. He looks apprehensive. He has the talent, because again, I was at the practice. I was watching him make the passes. I was seeing him do the right things when there was no pressure, when everything was fun and light. But when there's someone running at him, there's just an apprehension. He just pauses. And in the highest levels, a half second is a lot. And that's what you can just see. You can just see him not sure as what to do. And it's unfortunate, because he does seem like a great guy, but yeah, it's just not it for him.
You think he's not good enough? I think his time's done at City, you think?
Oh, so I want to be very careful with the words. It's not that he's not good enough, because I see the talent. During the practice and they were running the drills, he's pinging the ball around. It's going great. It's when it's serious, when there's another team running at you and the pressure's on, he just is there yet obviously there's a yips, but in America we call it the yips. It's when something that you have done time and time again, and you do it badly in a very important situation, from then on there's like a wall, and you always mess up with that. And it seems like he has the yips when it comes to the passing. You see what he wants to do, but then he always checks down to the second and third, and the more he checks down, it gives the other teams time to close in on him, and it puts his other teammates in a bad position. And specifically because of his position, you're receiving the ball so deep in, I guess, while we're trying to move the ball up, but very deep in the opponent's attacking position. It just sets them up for success over and over again, which is the complete antithesis of Pep ball, really. So yeah, it's not that he's not good enough. It's the brain, athletes, really.
To perform in a big stage, especially, I think what makes it hard for a lot of people to see, this is gonna be his probably third season, and City signing for 40 million. Pep has been patient the first year. I think the second year he hasn't had a good season, and in the preseason, I think this is a big one for him. And if he's not being able to play well, then it looks calamity for us, in terms of unfortunately, no one wants that kind of a player who would lose his confidence. We want we want Phillips to do well, but the way he's performing, can't even pass. The way he gives up so easily after he made that mistake. Is the fact that he made a mistake, fair enough, but I'll run back. But he doesn't drive. He doesn't show the hunger there. And I think, there's no better manager, to explain it better than Pep's high expectation. His expectation is so high, and we expect it to play at that level. We can't afford to lose 1 or 2 or 3 games. We're not Chelsea. We're not Liverpool. We're Manchester City. And you're playing under Pep Guardiola. There's a lot of pressure, you see. And I think, sometimes players don't work out at football club, and I don't think it's worked out for him. I think that it might work out in a different team for him, and I think it's better for him, to have a better. And I heard that Roma were interested with 25 million or 20 million. I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't care where he goes as long as it's not here. Let's put someone up. From what I saw, I think Perone needs to get in there. Yes, he has some growth, but he was busting his tail. And whenever he got on in the small spaces, he was making the right passes. He's making some clean passes, quick feet, despite him not being the fastest guy. He's a lot bigger than I thought as well. So I really would love to see Perone. I see Luis asked who's a better player between Jacob Wright and Sissoko. So what I will, again, this is just,
I want to know about this one,
from what I saw in the 2 games, practice and everything. Jacob Wright's game, he still needs to grow into his body a little bit more. He needs to still get strength, because his game kind of relies on strength and everything. And he might have that in the U18s, U19s, U20s, but now he's playing with big men. So I think he needs to hit the gym a little bit more. Sissoko, who is a little more tricky. He plays with speed. He looked really tasty. Sorry, that's a whoa. On the ball, he looked. What he was doing with the ball was great. He can disappear though, and that's the negative thing. Unless someone can specifically feed him the ball when he's running in top speed, and he can kind of counter change, play with it. It struggles. If we're playing the ball, we just give it to him, and he needs to beat someone on a one-on-one every single time. It's kind of let them get in, hit the ball forward, run past them, chip it in. So I think he needs to grow his one-on-ones a little bit more. But I think Sissoko could be more successful now just because I think he knows who he is as a player at this moment. Whereas Jacob Wright, like I said, I think he needs to grow into his body a little bit more, learn a little bit more of his grown man strength.
And welcome, G Certified, man.
What's up, homie?
Big up, G Certified. We're talking about basically Calvin Phillips' time is done at City, we think. So, and
Calvin Phillips, it's time. As Jamie Carragher said, it's time to learn Arabic. Everybody, it's time to learn Arabic and go to the Saudi League. I think that's what it is right now. Because the way his confidence is right now, I don't think he can play anywhere in the Premier League at the minute.
No,
at the minute, he's gonna need. I don't even know what kind of comeback. Granit Xhaka, even though Granit Xhaka, at one point it looked like there was no coming back.
Yeah.
Granit Xhaka before Arsenal was a good player. And then he left as a good player. Calvin Phillips, I'm not sure. I'm not sure do that.
That's actually a really good shout, because what really destroyed Granit was the clash that he had with the fans, which then got him out of turn. He lost his confidence. He had to relearn his game. Going to a new place, he was able to start anew. They loved him. He was welcomed in. His game hasn't changed. It was just confidence, mentality. How welcomed is he here? And I truly thought, all right, you're going to be here. It's just you, Grealish, Haaland, Ederson, who, may or may not want to be there. That's great. That's great. You're one of the leaders there for these few days. You got all these kids around. You can show off. You can gain your confidence. And I think that's why he looked good in North Carolina. All of a sudden, New York, Guardiola, Kovacic, they show up. Maybe he's not getting as much attention. It's New York. Jack Grealish over there with Rihanna. Nobody cares about Calvin Phillips. Now he's back to playing stuff. But I'm sorry to ut you off. It's just a brilliant thing I had to.
No, honestly, I get that, man. I'm saying that. That's what I was saying, man. That's what I was saying about it, man. But Crook, that's what I mean. I think that I don't know if it's I do think it's a confidence thing, but I don't know if Calvin Phillips can be revived. Like his career at City. His career at City, I'm not sure. I think it's over.
Yeah. I think he can do it at West Ham. What makes us believe they can do it at City?
I don't think he can do it at West Ham either. I think for him, he needs to go back to Leeds in the Championship. I think that would be my advice to him. Go back to the Championship and try and regain that confidence. Get promotion with them. It's your home club. They will support you. Those Leeds fans, your Leeds through and through. They even still chant about Calvin Phillips till today. So you'll have that love, you'll have the backing, and you'll have the space to grow into whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as for City, you're not going to get the opportunities because if Rodri's fit, he's starting. If Rodri's not fit, Kovacic will play. That's the unfortunate part for Phillips. And if Kovacic can't play there, Stones will get a look in before him.
Do you think you give it? What about today against Barcelona? We're playing Barcelona tonight, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd play them. I don't know about you, Crump, but I'd play and Hamza. I'd play Phillips in all of these friendlies.
You have
all of them.
I'd play every single one.
And I'd give him a judgment after. This would be his assessment. For me, these are his assessments. You know what I'm saying? These 4 games, I'd be like, Phillips, this is your last chance. Go and impress me. So far, he's failed 2. Fails another, I'd be selling him.
I think I think completely. Any links where he's being linked up to,
I have no idea. But what you have highlighted, I was also at that US tour And I was invited to the practice, and he looked awful. I mean, not even like just not knowing where things are. He started the drills with the starters, but by the end of the practice, he was over with the academy kids getting killed in the rondo drills. And so when I then saw him this year at North Carolina, he was killing it he was, putting some English on the passes and things like that in the drills. He looked very comfortable. And I even tweeted, Calvin Phillips is back. And then you saw what he did in New York, and I thought about deleting the tweet.
Oh my God,
thought about deleting the tweet, bro.
That was calamity.
Which one was worse for Calvin Phillips? Which game would you say? The New York in New York against Milan, or the first game in North Carolina against Celtic?
What was that?
Which game would you think Calvin Phillips was worse in, the first or the second?
Oh, the second. I actually thought he looked pretty decent in the first one. Like, yes, he was still apprehensive and things like that, but it's one of those things you can't see on the camera because it has to be on the ball. But Calvin in the match, being able to see, I was watching him like a hawk. Yeah, he knew where to go, where to tell people. He was helping out. Like, he knew what was going on. And last year, when he first got here, you could tell he had no idea what was going on. He didn't have the talent, and he didn't know what was going on in pep ball. Now he seems to at least know where the ball needs to go, what to need to do. That's also the problem with pep ball. Yes, his style is predetermined. You do this, you do that. But if you want to, if you have the courage, the balls, the fire, the passion, you'll make that pass. Absolutely. And something good can come from it. But it needs to be in the system. If Grealish can dribble past people, if Grealish believes in himself to dribble past that person, but he doesn't have that in himself, so he pulls back and dribbles all the way across the midfield and draws a foul. That's fine. We saw it with Daku, bro, playing in pep ball. He was killing people 1v1. Pep loved that stuff. If you have the confidence and you believe you can be successful in it, Pep has said all the time, I don't care if you make the pass and you make a wrong pass. Okay, well, what do you do next then? Are you now trying to close in, finish that press, try to get the ball back? Or there's step 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Pep's game that he's watching. You can lose the ball, but are you going to press back? Are you going to track back to make sure to help your teammates so we don't give anything away on the counterattack because we're so far up? It's just a multi-layered thing with Pep's system, and a lot of people just think he's killed the flair. And it was just like, also, and now I'm on a rant. How can we blame one man managing one team for destroying flair in all of football? If all other managers are trying to do Pep ball, I think that's those managers' faults for you can't do Pep ball. We know you don't have the brain. I don't have the brain. Half the time we're just
I just don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough for type of
it's not even Grealish. It's just
Pep has worked with the best players in the world. There's no better person to judge a player than Pep Guardiola. He's worked with all these guys: Xavi, Iniesta, Schweinsteiger, Thiago Alcantara. There's no hiding completely. As a DM, you're supposed to get the ball and drive the ball, protect the players.
He's got connections as well. He's got connections to some of the best, even if they didn't play for him. Like today we're seeing Kaka go in the sea. The respect between him and Kaka,
great play. Do you see them going to Arteta?
You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine Kaka going to Arteta? Like,
he'd be like,
how do you get your hair to stay like that? That's probably what he's gonna ask.
Yeah, who the hell is this guy? Random guy. Even if he wins the league, I don't care about this guy. Who the hell is this guy? But he knows Pep. That's legend. That's a legend. That's status there. See, I think that his time is done. I think let's see him tonight. I want to talk about Alvarez issue.
Okay.
Alvarez has come out saying that he'll talk about the issue about it in the upcoming season after the Olympics. Do you think that message, that what he was trying to say, was taken out of the context, or do you think he's unhappy? Because as a player of Alvarez standards, people are asking, he should be starting constantly. But when you've got Haaland up front, KDB behind him, Foden, who's playing this season, Bernardo, one of the registers, and then you're seeing Grealish and Doku, which you can't play that position. And we're playing this many games. Do you think that Alvarez's message was misunderstood? Because Pep came out straight away and said, I need to hear what his agent needs to say. And I think Alvarez got humble there. But do you think the media are just playing this narrative, or do you think that this is Alvarez leaving?
No, I agree with what he said. I think he genuinely means what he's saying. I think that he's starting to have enough being, at City. You know what I'm saying? And it's
how old is he?
25, I think 24, maybe even older. Yeah. Because the thing is, I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, you're in a similar situation. You're 24. You're a similar age to Haaland. Yeah, you're even older than Haaland. You know what I'm saying? You know how vital you are to your national team. You've won a World Cup once, one of the best players. He wants to now push on his career and reach the potential that he's going to get, because he knows that most likely if Haaland signs another contract extension, he will never play in his prime years at City. Yeah. And there will never be a chance that he'll play if there's only one striker. So he's thinking about it from a career's perspective as, okay, listen, I can't get game time. If I can't get game time, I'm going to be like Calvin Phillips potentially, where, even my national team drops me. There might be another Argentine striker in the future that's playing all the time and he's not getting the game time. He gets dropped. Even Lautaro Martinez could drop him by next World Cup. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's thinking about his career. So I don't blame him. He could go anywhere in the world. He could go anywhere in the world, apart from City, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And he's got a good chance of starting for them. He's got a good chance of starting. It doesn't mean that he's going to start. But
Real Madrid, he doesn't start. Bayern, he doesn't start. All these clubs, Inter Milan, he doesn't start. The only club is Atletico Madrid.
And they don't have the money.
Yeah,
and they don't have the money.
They
going to sell for thing. He signed a contract in 2028.
It would be Barcelona, really.
Yeah. No, we have him. He's locked in with the club, and that's kind of the thing. And I know Atleti, they were just talking about Dovbyk from Girona, and they said that deal is done, but now the deal might be in the air. I don't know. But if they go after Dovbyk, yeah, that's what I was saying. There's other people who are interested in him, so I'm not quite sure where he's gonna go. This whole Alvarez situation, I think all these, because in this game of telephone where it's in the nose talking to sources, I think both things can be true. Like you said perfectly, G. Alvarez, he knows his age. This is the time where he needs to basically see if he can be the star boy. He signed with City before Milan actually signed. So in his brain, he thought he was going to be the next Aguero. Like, we were even there's a reason he does this. And then Milan came in and ruined things. And every single year, it's like, he's going to leave to Real. He's going to leave to Real. Well, now Real just brought in Mbappe.
Yeah.
That window is closing very much on out. Yeah. And he is quality, but he's not quality for Milan. Like, we're going to keep it real. We all know what the vibes are. He's getting, because now I'm going to move to the next thing. A lot of people were arguing, you had damn near the most minutes. You had more minutes than Milan. Bro was playing he was starting in the Carabao Cup. He was starting in Champions League group matches when we already had our position locked in. He was coming in starting for Milan after he had already scored 4 or 5 goals. It's very tough when you're constantly being told you're the second when you want to be number 1 in the world, and you're going around winning Copa Americas. You're going around winning World Cups. You can't.
I think it's annoying a bit. We're hearing Edison wants to leave, KDB wants to leave, Alvarez wants to leave. Do you feel this is just annoying for a lot of fan base? What the hell are we doing?
Yes, from our perspective, you always want the player on your club to love your team. But on the opposite end, don't you always want to feel loved? And so this is me. I'm now at this mind point where I don't have this blind belief Because like catch me a couple years ago when that whole Bernardo Willie won't he leave? I was that person screaming, "Get him out of here if he doesn't want to be here. You knew what you signed. You're not getting no sunny beach weather. This is Manchester, bro." But hey, I now understand the game is the game. People are fickle. They want what they want. They got friends. They got family. They got agents all in their ears. Really? In the end, it's all about mentality. These players need to be in the right place physically, spiritually, mentally. And if you don't feel like you're the number one, like Alvarez, like Ederson, like KDB, honestly, because you got Phil nipping on his heels. We got all these people begging for Rico to be moved into the midfield. They're in order for all of the Grealish to be moved into the midfield. If any of these things are to happen, who has to get out of here? It's KDB. And so it's just I get it on the end of the players, because who doesn't want to be loved? But as a lover of the club, you just want everything to be positive, peace, love. And, I just think the bigger city gets, it's just like Barca. It's just like Real. How's all this information coming out? How's all this information being leaked? And that's what happens over there. That's who we are now.
Yeah, I just think it's the team as well. I think the team is now, well, I know we don't always do let's say David Silva leaves, we need to replace David Silva. It's always, we almost think before the player leaves. We almost bring in the replacement before the player leaves. But we are in that stage of a transition, and that's why a lot of the names are coming up. Let's be honest, Ederson, KDB, when players start hitting 30, there's going to be a lot of rumors. Silva, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of rumors. Do they still want to be there? What's going to happen? Are City going to... And City normally, there's at least under Sheckman, so we haven't really... Once a player hits 32, 33, their early 30s, it's almost like their choice if they want to stay or go. With Fernandinho was like, oh yeah, I wanted to leave. And if he didn't have the 18-19 season the way he had it, at 34, he probably could have left much earlier. You know what I'm saying? But so I just think it just depends. For me, Alvarez, I can understand it. To be honest, I can understand it because
he's played most minutes.
He's played.
Why is he going to complain?
As the number two, it doesn't matter. Like, you can get all the attention, but it's after everybody has already celebrated all the goals. It's after already everybody's all happy. No one's paying attention to him.
KDB was injured as well. This next season, if KDB's fit, he doesn't start. Savio's now there. You know what I'm saying? Alvarez got a lot of minutes.
So would he sell him? Would he sell him this summer?
Who's going to buy him, though? That's what I'm like. Yes, we can sell him, but who's going to buy him? Like, there's nobody who can give us the money. If they can give us the money, buy. I do think we got people. We got Savio. We got Oscar Bobb. We have some people who can stand in their stead. Nunes, he has to be better. Kovacic, he was great, but there were moments he's going to step it up. Yeah, there's still so many other players who can step it up and grow in quality. So if we lose somebody, that just gives opportunity.
Let's talk about that one that you said, Oscar Bobb.
Ooh.
Has he impressed you so far? Oscar Bobb. I thought he can even speak Portuguese. His name might be Bobinho. So this guy, Bobinho, I call him Bobinho.
I like that though. I like that.
Guy, so the touch. The first time I saw this boy, I was like, how can you have a little touch, small touch, make a move? Yeah, tight spaces, make a move. So impressive. What do you think, as a performance as this guy, as a youngster, what do you think of Oscar Bobb?
Nah, I like Oscar Bobb. I think that he's very good. He's very good technically. As for his age, of course, we can all see that. And he's so mature as well. And he seems like he's grown this season since he's been on the state tour. He's probably, I think, been training throughout the summer. You know what I'm saying? Because Norway haven't been at the Euros. So he's probably been working on his game and it's paying off. So I think
he's such a good dribbler. He gets the ball. Just don't know where he's going to move. He drugs it in, cuts in, keeps the ball next to him. Who does he remind you?
Who does he remind me? He reminds me a little bit of, man, that's actually a good question. It reminds me a little bit of Kulusevski in a way. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of pace, with more pace. Kulusevski with pace. I think that he could improve from that. I think he can get more, but for me to put him up to another level, for me, his GA is gonna have to go up. You know what I'm saying? His goals and assists, being decisive.
That's where you get judged.
That's where you get judged, especially as a winger now. So if you want to be on the kind of next level, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what you got to do. Not even the next. It doesn't even need to be, like a mad 20 goals, 30. Just something that is relative for his age, and then we can start pushing him up a little bit more.
Yeah,
he
can be a star. We can see it. Sure, he can work on his explosion, but again, he's one of those players who seems to know who he is. When I'm watching him dribble, it's almost like he knows I'm going to do these next 3 things, and that's how I'm going to get past the players. And that's what I love about it. It's not necessarily he doesn't do too much. He's not that tricky of a guy, but everything he does is so clean, and he just knows who he is. And just a nice, that Norwegian style. They're not frills. It's just, hey, do what I need to do to get to point A to point B. And sometimes that's needed in a squad.
I think he's going to feature. I think he's impressive, as people are saying. I'm impressed with Oscar Bobb. I think I'm impressed about keeping the ball next to him. He has more confidence than Calvin Phillips. He can drive the ball better than Calvin Phillips. He's coming there, and he's the one that's impressed us the most in this preseason. And I think I can see so much. The question is, would you loan him out this season, or would you keep him to make it? Because exactly how you develop Foden. Keep him. Let him train with KDB. Let him train with Bernardo. Let him train with Foden. Let him train with Rodri and Haaland. Let him train. He'll only get better when he trains with elite players.
For me, he's on the same category as a Cole Palmer for me, where it's almost like I wouldn't loan. When Cole Palmer was here, I wouldn't have loaned Cole Palmer. But it's kind of like the only way I can see Oscar Bobb leaving is for like a massive fee. You know what I'm saying? Of like something that the City don't expect, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that's actually okay. We'll sell him." Mm-hmm. But for me, I'd keep him. Let him learn, because there's no guarantee that he can't start in this team. There's no guarantee, because Doku, as much as Doku and Savio are here now and pushing on, Oscar Bobb performs like the way he has in the last 2 preseason games.
On the bench, the way he is.
If he keeps performing like that against Chelsea away, the Community Shield, the West Ham away, Ipswich, at the start of the season, you'll have a chance.
Yeah.
You'll have a chance.
He's a perfect false 9 if Milan comes off and we get rid of Alvarez if we got to. He can also play in the midfield, which might also help the fact that he isn't the quickest, but he runs back. He tracks back. He's such a hard worker. We've seen the talent. I think he has everything needed, and he's humble. And I'm not the biggest fan of that word, because usually that word gets pointed specifically as like a negative, right? And so it's he himself has tons of self-belief. He knows who he is. He's been in City, the youth development system for years. So the whole idea of City ball, it's ingrained in him, and that's what helps. Now, when getting constant first team action, practicing with Pep, now Pep can help him with the mentals, truly knowing where to go and what to do, even helping him out with, hey, you seem to get stuck on this move, maybe try this, blah, 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 blah. And that's where that wealth of knowledge and information can come, and I think that's what's going to be most beneficial for him.
It's a big one, DJ, and that's a big one. If Alvarez leave, you can't risk a youngster. Like, imagine Haaland's missing the Real Madrid game. Are you gonna play Bobb up front? That's risky. That's dangerous.
False 9.
Yeah, I think it's very. I can see him causing defenders problem, But you're right. It's a risky one. But I think Alvarez leaves. You have to get a replacement.
To be fair, he did say if one player goes, then he might get.
Yeah,
you have to get a replacement. If Alvarez leaves, then you're eating good money. Then you have to go. Whose options would you be going? I think McAtee. Can you see McAtee? Is McAtee good?
He's gone. I like Mans, and I see why people like him. He scored tons of bangers over these last couple of years on loan, but he likes the attacking part of football so much more than the defensive part. And I know you can learn this. You can get there. I don't know how patient Pep is, because I think he sent him to specific teams who their whole identity is grit. Their whole identity is focusing defensively. And from there, you're able to score goals and have success attacking. And if he still needs that push, he's a young dude, but he's not that young of a dude. Either really you got it or you don't. And I was very unimpressed.
McAtee.
McAtee, like very unimpressed. I think he's gone.
Yeah,
I think there's fitness issues.
1,000%. I didn't want to.
No one knows spell now officially.
Now it's for me. If you
sell him, just get rid of him.
If a team can give maybe 25 million, I'd sell him. I'll be honest. The McAtee, he's one of those players that the only reason people want to keep him now is because he's an academy. He's came throughout the years, and it's sad to see players that have spent their whole life at the club, then leave. But let's put the sentimental part out of the way. This guy has been, even at Sheffield United, he was all right, but some games I'd watch and he's not even started. Sheffield, and you want to play here. For me, even the likes of players that we've let go, the likes of Palmer, Palmer was at a higher level, than McAtee, so. Even some of the players that we've got now, I'm looking at O'Reilly's, I'm looking at Nadala, I'm looking at these guys, Soho.
Ndala, I watch out for that guy. That guy impressed me.
Who? Yeah,
Joe Ndala.
He
was left. He impressed me in academy. It knows how to take on players. One guy said, "Would you rate Verratti?" He went to Saudi, so we haven't watched him much about Marco Verratti. So. I don't think he's not linked with us, is he?
Marco Verratti in 2024, man.
It's insane. Bro's knees hate him. There's no way. Like, if people are worried about Kovacic, y'all really need to worry about Verratti. Like, he's an even less athletic version of Kovacic.
Trust me, man. One of the most, in his prime, very underrated midfielder.
Yes.
Now, so it's the similar thing with Kante. Even though, to be honest, I'm at the point where I would, if Phillips can't get his act together, I would take Kante, for 2 seasons.
I'll take Kante.
And that's the thing. Perfect example of someone who could go to Saudi, get their career back in order, and come back. Because people want Kante now. I'm not saying people didn't want Kante, but when he left, people were very confused because they thought that he could still play in a top league. Was his powers waning? And you saw what he did in the Euros.
He's very good. I think those are the players that will take him.
He had surgery. That's the thing. He had surgery for his injuries because he kept on getting injured. So that's the thing. The same thing I think will happen with Reece James as well. I think Reece James, now he's had the surgery. Now he's going to kick on for them as well. So, it's for City. But with McAtee, I think Chelsea wanted to sign him. I think there was another guy that wanted to sign McAtee. And honestly, 25 million, McAtee can be yours. He's in the Delap kind of situation for me right now. But I'm like, yeah, your time is up, unfortunately.
Can I share something on the screen? We're talking about no fans. I want to share the video from the train. I uploaded it.
Hey, let's go, man. Let's go.
This was the train coming back.
Get ready, people, man. This is big stuff.
Oh.
No, 1 second. Let me put it in.
There we go.
Oh, why can't I see? It's not popping up though. Can y'all see it? Did you see me?
I can just see you.
Yeah. Why is it not? Hold on. Let's try again. All right. Because why are you not showing?
Before you ask Bobb's
Can you pull it up?
Well, let's try and pull. Let's see.
Yeah, it says I'm sharing, but it's not popping up. There we go. Oh, I was blocking it. Yeah, look at this. It was insane. I legitimately was just in the corner like this.
My God.
I would have to get off the train. A bunch of people would have to hop off, and then I'd have to hurry up and hop back on before the door closed.
Oh my God, those bloody hell, man. That's in New York.
Yeah, that was after the AC
train.
Milan
See that?
Yeah.
City fans all over everywhere. New York trains.
And it was one of those things. If I if I missed it, I would have to wait another 30 minutes, and there was still a whole extra batch of fans still coming down. So I was like, "No, bro, I'm getting in here." So I squeezed in there. It was real intimate.
Nah, trust me. You know that's how it is, man. And I'm happy that you went there and you guys experienced that.
Absolutely incredible experience. Completely,
it's an incredible experience. Like, I was looking at some of the videos and pictures, and I was like, "Damn, I wish I could have went." You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at that.
Bro. I looked at it. I was like, "Wow."
I was like, "Wow, this is mad." Like, what an experience! Like, the players are going there, and the stuff that they've got going on, even not even on match day, the stuff that they had even a few days before. You know, with Phillips and Leicester and meeting the players, and it's been nice, man. It's been nice to see, and I think
it's been brilliant and all that. So, do you guys think, like, what's the chances we thinking that we're signing anyone in now? July is coming up to the end, August.
It's one of those things. I've been sold on the opposite. I don't want Bruno. I don't want Dani Olmo. Like, would I love those guys? Yes, but they would get in the way of everything. The only way we can bring any of those players in is if we lose KDB. If we lose KDB, then sure, bring in Dani Olmo. But all last season, I was like, bring in Jamal Musiala. Obviously,
he's got 2-year contract left. I think that's a big one. That where the City are waiting for that Musiala and massive rebuild. Yeah, next year.
Right? Send Oscar Bobb this year for a loan over to Bayern. Let him learn from company, and that can be a little like wink, nod to send Musiala our way.
Musiala's contract is running out 2026.
Yeah.
2026.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's shown little inclination to extend his contract. And he will be given a high pay, being told you are the main guy. You are the Mr. Man City. There's the keys. KDB's off.
I think that's half the reason why they brought in company.
And his goes off the roof. No matter how much he's playing, I think him coming at City is like mad.
Yeah, I would love it. They brought company in as a sign, I think, to Musiala. Hey, we're bringing in this cool young manager. We're not the old Bayern that most people know, this like stale, uncomfortable, very white, team that makes everybody miserable there after a time and sends you out after a certain age. I think they're trying to make the changes. They're trying to show Musiala why he needs to stay. But come on, baby, join the Sky Blue Army over here.
That's the thing. I think that people are talking about massive rebuild next season. Why is there a delay? But if you look at the first goalkeeper, that's key. Defense is sorted. Thank God no one's in defense has come out and said there's rumors about wanting to leave. Yeah. The defense, everyone's happy. Diaz happy, Stone's happy. Ake's been quiet. Akanji's quiet. Walker's the only one that next year is leaving. Yeah, we know he's not. I don't think Walker's staying beyond next year.
Yeah. He should. Walker, I'll be honest, he's another one that's coming to the end for that guy as well. So it looks like
Walker out. Bernardo Saga next year again restart. Yeah. Go back to that Saga. Rodri's being offered a contract, hopefully signed.
Yeah.
Then we got Kovacic, he stays. Calvin Phillips, hopefully he's gone. Cancelo. We haven't even talked about Cancelo.
That Cancelo, that guy is
we don't know nothing about Cancelo.
Cancelo can go. Even I don't mind going.
I thought he was gonna come to the preseason. I know they don't like each other, but I thought they were gonna be like, here, play some games, get your fee up, we'll let you go. And it's just truly, they're just telling them, stay home, stay in shape, and we'll let you know what we're about to do with you.
Yeah. That's bad, you know. They're like, yo, just chill, bro. They're like chill at home, man. We'll call you when we're ready.
Abdulaziz Jallo says, I think Nunes will cook this season. Abdulaziz, I'll remember you. If he cooks, we're going to give you the credit.
I hope so.
He hasn't even played in preseason. He hasn't gone preseason, has he?
Oh, you're talking about Nunes with an S. Sorry, I thought you were talking. I thought somebody was just talking about Liverpool for some reason. I was like, what is happening?
No,
why are we doing this? Yeah, no, you meant Matthias. Okay, cool. Nunes. Yeah, no, he has to do better. He has to. He has no choice, right? Or he's done.
Yeah.
He has to do better than Matthias Nunes.
Yeah, I think the Musiala one, watch out for that. 2026 contracts running up. It reminds me of Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané was holding us down on a contract.
Yeah.
Then he had an ACO in the Community Shield. Coming to the last year of contract was the year after that.
Blame City for that.
We had to sell him for 60. Otherwise, we're losing on a free. We need to do this karma, man. That revenge part 2, Musiala, we need to do that over for that.
I'm here for it.
I think I can see City probably. Don't be surprised. City have spoken to Musiala's agent. So you're 22 years old. You've made your 4 years at Bayern, 4 or 5 years. Staying here is not the best. Bellingham's gone Madrid. Manchester City is a football club that are building to fight Madrid. So come here. We've got a way of playing. Pep signed a contract. You young guy. Haaland is there. And I would even give KDB a 1-year contract extension so that I sell him to Saudi next year.
Well, it depends. It all depends. If KDB is probably going to be there and he's going to speak with Chiki and them, and he's going to probably ask, what is the plans? What's the plans with Musiala? What is the plans about letting me go? For me, KDB, after the season that he had last season, I would give him a contract extension because I still think that as much as Musiala for the future would be better just because he's younger, what he would be giving us in the short term, KDB, we've got more chance of winning things with KDB than Musiala as of right now. As of today, there's more chance of KDB winning us trophies, Champions Leagues than Musiala. Now, for me, what he's got to ask Chiki and all them is, okay, how many years are you going to offer me? Because if he gets offered maybe 1 year, then he's got to make the decision. Like Gundogan, because Gundogan
biggest mistake.
Gundogan wanted more than 1 year. Gundogan says he wanted
2-year contract.
Yeah. So now KDB's got to make the decision himself. You put it in KDB's court, saying, okay, we're going to give you if you're going to give him a 1-year contract, take it or leave it, and then leave it to him.
Give him a 2-year contract and sell him.
And well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand what's the problem with giving a player a 2-year contract and then just sell him a year later. Like, if we don't agree,
Saudi are going to come for KDB no matter what.
Give him the 2 years and then sell him. Okay, I want to kind of go back to this Ederson thing. If he leaves, a lot of people, they're talking about Mike Maignan, and they're talking about Donnarumma. I saw this awful video, people talking about Pickford, but neither of those guys really do what Pep wants. Donnarumma specifically, I have a friend who I was in New York watching the game with. He specifically warned me about Donnarumma and how Donnarumma hates playing with his feet. He chases the money. It's all these other things. Nobody's talking about Rui Patricio. And we are sorry, not Rui. Sorry, other Portuguese. Diogo Costa. Yeah, Diogo Costa. And yes, the 24 years old, very talented, can do a lot of the same things, and I think he's even a better shot stopper than Ederson.
I think there's 3 keepers you could go downgrade a bit. Diego Costa, Georgian keeper. I don't know where they can pass from the back.
Yeah,
and that keeper from Slovakia. Atletico Madrid. Let me just find out his contract. What's that guy's contract? What's his name in?
Yeah. Didn't he almost sign with Chelsea?
Yeah, he's got.
He seems to be I don't know if you watched on Netflix the La Liga documentary.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun to watch, and he's on there, him and his girl, and you can definitely tell that he is just going to go where the money is, and I'm not sure if I'm tired of those players. I feel he kind of gives me like Ferran Torres vibes, where he's going to show up for a couple years, say the right things, and then out of nowhere he's going to be like, I want to leave.
Yeah, man. Ferran Torres, he took the number 21 and he was like, yeah, for David Silva. Then he left 2 years later. That's
like, bro, pain.
I
hate that dude.
Oh, it's crazy money. Okay, fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. Because for me, of course, I can understand it from a business perspective why you'd get Musiala and sell KDB next summer. But you got to also think about, I think the club has to look at this differently, because you're not just selling a random player. You're now selling probably your best ever player that's ever played for the club. That's who you're selling. You're selling a guy that could probably have a statue. Not even probably. You're selling a guy that would have a statue and could even probably have a stand.
Yeah, that's what
I wanted to. So they've got to go with this with care, because if they get this wrong, the fans will also be upset with it. You know what I'm saying? If they force KDB out, the fans will be upset with it. So they've got to think of it. Okay, what does KDB want? And if KDB says that next year he wants to go to Saudi, I will say I will literally have zero anger towards him, any kind of resentment. I'd be like, thank you for everything you've done. You know,
yes, 100%.
But
absolutely no.
One more season, at least one more season of a fully fit KDB, because he's now at 10 years. This is his 10th season at City. 10th.
Yeah.
If this was his last season.
I'll just look at the player I was talking about, that Mamardashvili. He takes 24,000 pounds a week as a keeper, and he's 23 years old, and he's 6'6".
Yeah, there we go. I like that.
And he can play from the back.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the comments. What do you think about Mamardashvili, that guy, Valencia keeper?
I like him. I don't know about the comments, but I like him from watching the Euros. I haven't watched
All Blacks on 400k a week, man, DJ, and I saw that, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had to go back now.
That's why they can't afford Alvarez.
But
Eric's saying if Alvarez leaves, then Oscar behind Haaland on the wing for Milan attack. Eric was saying that, but we said, what about if Haaland goes injured? Like he went out for 2-3 months. That's that problem I'm worried about.
You move Savio inside. Savio's our striker now.
That's actually a good question.
We just go long ball.
Haaland goes injured.
I said to you guys before, for me, I'd go to the false nine. I'd be like, Doku, Savio, you guys are going to be my inside wingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd play in the 9. You've got Foden, KDB. I'd play one of those two in the false 9 and like just see what happens.
If you watched in the preseason, that's what we were doing. When Milan came off, we basically went to a false 9.
Yeah, I would play KDB, actually. I'd play KDB there because I think Foden is better in the middle. I'd play Foden with Kovacic or Bernardo and Rodri. And then I'd play Doku and Savio up front. That's how I'd look at it. You know what I'm saying? Or if one of them got injured, Bobb can play wing, you know. Like, we can switch it. That's the good thing with having Savio now, because he can play left wing, right wing, 10.
Can we just sit on that?
I'm scared of cutting down the squad number.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I'm with you.
Squad number. I just don't want to be squad number being
it's already sad already.
It's already so deficient.
It's already good. The squad is already good. Compared to 17-18, that squad, this team is much more in numbers. It's less, but the quality is still there. You know, but that's the reason I don't want us to get a bit too overconfident.
Yeah.
And start selling, you know, let's take the risk now. Let's sell KDB, you know, right straight away. Let's now sell Edison, you know, because we've seen the new shiny toy.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me handle this because what you're saying, bro, isn't even that deep. It's not that serious. Rate Laporte, Virgil, Saliba. Like, Laporte is last. He's an old man. What are we doing? And then Virgil, Saliba, I don't really care. 1 or 2. Like, what are we doing? Who's scared? It's just a silly question.
Probably Virgil because he's won at least something. Saliba comes second.
But Saliba's very soon this season, maybe even next, could be one.
That could be a season, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, right now, it's Saliba, Van Dijk.
Van Dijk because of the aura that he's won everything, and that's
we're over here talking about Man City, and they're talking about you're scared to talk about these other people. Like, bro, we're talking about Man City. Why would we want to talk about another club's players? Like,
yeah, probably an Arsenal fan.
Answer this. I got a question from. Answer this.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win the league next season? Man City, or Man City? And we'll see the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I know, because the only team I'm worried about next season is Arsenal. And Arsenal, for me, they haven't got a striker yet, so I'm not saying I don't think they'll.
I think if Arteta doesn't win the league, he's a fraud. The amount of spending he's made is absolutely criminal, pathetic, disgrace.
I want to compare it, by the way. They wanted to compare this Arsenal team to Liverpool. Yeah, to look at what Jurgen Klopp, look at what Arteta's done.
Mm-hmm.
Klopp, his first 2 years is better. His first 3 years or 2 years are better than anything that Mikel Arteta has ever done. His first 2 years at Liverpool.
Yeah,
I think he went
a lot. Klopp's going to the Bernabeu, Rato Madrid. He's going to went to Champions League, won it, and he won the Premier League. This guy is a bunch of. He was a useless player.
Completely. And he came from City. Like, bro, you legitimately left City to go to Arsenal. You should have all of
this. That's what annoys me, this shit.
Yeah, like you should be able to beat us.
Where are they getting the money from, these scumbags?
Oh, yes.
They're signing every player. Look at this. They'll sign bro, they're scumbags. I'm starting to hate them so much. Where are they getting the money from? They say, bro, I'm hearing Merino. I'm thinking, what? Literally no shame. I swear, no shame. I'm thinking, there's something called shame. You sign so much. It comes out that you're thinking, bro, I need to check your pockets because I don't think that you've been taking. These are not legit money. Bro, that you haven't won anything. Where are you getting the money from?
Shirt sales.
They're stealing people's money.
They have clothing lines.
All this money to spend. They say ESR. We're selling a youngster Liam Delap as much as ESR, who's never played for us. Selling a Liam Delap as much as ESR.
Yep.
Tells you about City. We have had 500 million sales this year. Yeah? No. In the last couple of years with youngsters only. 500. We sold 500 million of young. 500 deep. Yeah? That's not even addition of senior squad. And these guys are selling ESR and no one else. No one wants to buy the players. They go in the market signing players. And then people are telling me, that's what I'm saying to you, that if they don't win anything, if they don't win the league or the Champions League, it's a fraud. And I know for a fact they're not going to win one major one. I know for a fact they ain't winning.
No, I don't see it as well. I think that this is the season where people, if this is Pep's last season, they'll want to win. They'll want to win everything. You know, let's be honest. If this is Pep's last season, as of right now, I don't think he's told the players if he's staying or leaving. Right, as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he will soon, but I don't think right now. I think he will sign on. And that's for me the only thing that I care about this season, the Pep extension. As long as Pep signs, I don't mind about who we sign, who goes. As long as Pep signs, that's all what we need to worry about. But as of right now, I think that the players, they're looking at it like this might be Pep's last season. Let's go out on a bang. And let's try and make something out of it. And I hope KDB gets his moment in the I hope that he gets that UCL final moment that he deserves before he leaves. Because I feel like even though we've won the Champions League, both finals going off in unfortunate circumstances, he deserves the spotlight for at least to go out on his terms, and not on anyone else's terms. So I hope we can give it for him if it's KDB's last season, but also for Pep if it's Pep's last season as well. You know,
I think that's important. And that's it. We're done, guys. Thank you very much. Anything to say, any guys? G certified. Thank you today. Crank. Thank you today. Big up everyone.
Quickly.
I try to make our show today. Basically, Barcelona versus Man City, midnight. Yeah, you're all watching it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say to you. I was gonna say to you about that. What are you guys' predictions for that game? You know what I'm saying? Is any of you doing a watch along for that game? You know what I'm saying? What's the plans with this game?
Where is it televised? City TV.
Yeah, City TV.
Yeah, City TV.
I might do a watch along. But it's midnight. That's a problem.
If you do one, I'll hop on. Put the link in the chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, I'll hop on as well, man. If there's a game, we'll be there again, man. We come back.
Safe,
man.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care, lads, man. Everyone, and thank you so much first to Eric04, who gave us a super chat there. And thank you for everyone for liking the stream. I will be here again soon. And tonight we might do a watch along.
You know the vibes.
Peace.
You know the vibes.
Thank you so much, Crank.